what we are going to do, we are going to take some example. Okay, we're going to not example. Sorry, we are going to learn the very first session of our directional session. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay. Direction is important. Very, very
yes,
important.
yes. So let's move. Okay, so there are two different approach of identifying the direction. Okay, two approach. One we follow as a support resistance way. Another we follow as engulfing way. Okay,
Okay.
so the common one we're going to learn as a storyline.
Storyline.
The
Okay.
question is, do we follow storyline?
Okay.
Sometimes we do, but I'm not a big fan of it. Okay,
Okay.
I personally believe whatever you do, whatever you learn, always go to the basic. Okay, why we do trade too beta? Our trading is too good. Why? Because I always says to anyone, whatever you learn, you always try to stick with the basic. Do not make overcomplicated with the chart, right? Do
Okay.
not make it.
Yes.
And that's the reason the people in the group and here to make too much profit. You already witness it by yourself, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
So if we start as a direction, the first thing I'm going to tell you something, which is every direction based on something is called N shape. What
M
shape?
shape.
N,
M shape.
not M, N shape.
N shape.
N shape, like this one.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
N shape. So this is the fundamental or the very best way to identify a trend. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Or
Okay.
something else? Okay, or the sideway. Okay, or the sideway. There are few types and categories of the trend, but we will not go that deeper. But how this N shape is so important to understand a directional way of a market. You got my point.
Yes. Yes.
So look, there are so many concepts people use to identify the direction.
Yes. Yes.
By using this method, out of 10 times you may get misdirection one or two times, but still you will be in 8 times in the good direction. As I said, my primary job was never to make anyone 100% profitable. Not like winded, getting the winded as 100%, right?
Nobody get the 100% profit.
So as I say, so let's say there are few concepts. One is the very basic one. Whenever someone jump into a trading industry, we understand the direction process as a high and low concept, like higher high, lower high, or lower low, higher low, like
Lord.
this
Yes. Yes.
concept,
Yes.
right? Then we started to roaming around on different concept. We started to learn new concept, and we make things complete, like complicated.
Yes.
The very first thing, as I said, this is the one that can solve any one directional issue, which is the handshake. Okay,
N shape.
so how this is an important thing. Okay, how it is an important thing. So let us start. I will come back to this hand shape a little bit later. Before that, I'm going to tell you something, which is this. So let's say this is the beginning, like a big bang. Okay, like a big bang. So what we have here, we have a starting point. We have the universe is expanding on here, right?
Yes.
So we have our very low end and we have our very first high end.
Yes.
Okay, very first high end. So let's say now market started to doing something like this and we started to getting our very first hand shape,
Yes.
isn't it? With the traditional concept, what we have here, we have our low,
You one high,
we have our high,
also
and
an low,
and
and higher high.
yeah. So let's say it's a lower, higher, lower, whatever they call it. So okay, so and we have our higher low, higher low, and now, as I said, it's look like a universe just expanding and starting. So we have our high. Okay.
Higher high.
So this low to this high, the high got broken. That means we started shifting the phases, like discovering the planet. So this is the low and this is the high. Again, now if market started to come here and then go up, That means we start to getting another low and another high. Okay,
Yes.
another low. And so by now, by seeing this market, what is your point of view? You're bullish or bearish?
It's a bullish.
So now, as I said again, we are expanding the universe like this. So now let's say if market comes here, now the two possibilities we have: either it come back or it goes up. It goes up. Okay. So if it goes up, we says again like we are having new high. Okay. We having new high. Oh my god. We having a new high and the new low. As it started, every time it is giving us what? An N shape, an M shape,
Yes.
an N shape, right?
Yes.
The same N shape we are talking about. Okay, brother. Now, so again, it created what it created here. It created the higher high and it created
Yeah,
the
right.
low. So if now market come here, and the possibilities is if it goes up, and we says okay, our trend is still remain same, no changes of anything,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes.
And what if it just come down here?
That trend is reversal.
Okay, that means why it's reversal, because this low is broken.
Yes.
So when okay, oh my god, when this low is broken, we says okay, fine, our trend has changes the direction,
Yes.
and we may see market goes back to that previous N shape. This whole zone, particular zone, is becoming our particular point of interest area,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
we started to looking for sell. Okay, understood? The point is
Yes.
clear. So how you understand this is a sell pattern, because the low is got broken, and
Yes.
and this is the very much universal way to understand a trend topic, and which is also we learn by very first thing as it identifies as a trend thing. Now, as you say, your background is SMC.
Yes, yes, yes.
So now let us do the same N shape here. So the beginning of any trend, this is started of our N shape, and now previously we call it a higher high and lower
It's
higher low.
broken.
Now the same thing, but you started to changing by any name. So they started to calling this higher high as a boss.
Again, it's bringing us called a breakout structure.
All right. And now
Yes.
you literally can started a new concept. You can say it like it's look like an arrow, and it's also an N shape. So you can started to calling it an arrow breakout. Okay.
Another breakout.
So it's your own concept. You can even try it with the market,
Okay.
isn't it? So now the same like boss boss, which is your concept will be an arrow breakout, okay. So now the same thing, we have this as a our as a our thing, okay.
Yes.
What if now it come back and started to break out?
So change of character.
So same thing, you can start it to call it like your and bottom arrow breakout happened. So
Yes.
now this particular thing is your point of interest area. You goes
Yes.
back here, you look for sell, you started to selling. So
Yes, yes,
how
yes.
the sell trend continuation going to happen? The same like breakout.
Breakout.
Now the
Yes.
boss was in upper side, now the boss coming to the lower side. Okay.
Yes, yes.
It's like devil, कभी आपका पीछे कभी आपका आगे पीछे. What is the timing of it? Okay. So okay. So this is the SMC concept or ICT concept, whatever you say about it. Now,
That's a universal concept.
basic. What I say is the basic remains same. The basic remains same.
Yes.
Another concept is like liquidity consume method. So I'm not going to go that far. Now, just remember this thing. I will come back to this particular part a little bit later. Okay. Now, to identify the SNR,
Okay.
we added few things as an extra. What I says, every method is ultimately the same thing, but we started to calling them as a fancy name. You got my point? So like we have a level which we call a level, right? We have
Yes.
a V level which we call like this two candle, and this two candle create a level or V level. Okay. At the same time, what we added extra, no one in the industry called this as a gap SNR, right? So we started to count them as a also supported resistance area. Like this is, isn't it? So what we do, we mark the gap. We say, okay, yes, it is also a support area, resistance area for us, isn't it? Depend on the where market. If market is above the line, we call it support. If below the line, we call it resistance. So, so to me, gap is important, but not that much important. Okay. So I only prefer some kind of gap, which let's say this is a whatever candle it is. This is a sell candle. So for the buy candle, it will be the very much vice versa, very much vice versa. Okay. So also we have a week here, like one week is like this, one week is like this. So this is our gap SNR, isn't it? This is our gap SNR. Now there is another scenario. There is another scenario which is like this. So what is the difference between two is like this particular area gap and this particular area gap. This wick size is identical on here. This wick size is not identical here. I personally prefer in higher time frame. I do not care about the lower time frame gap. Okay, that lower time frame gap I use as a confirmation of entry.
Okay.
If you remember yesterday there was a trade I kept in the signal group and I did a details breakdown of it. Like
signal group, I know only for superhero group.
Okay, but there is a in details breakout, trade breakout, like why I enter on that particular area. So there are so many reasons.
You add signal group for.
I will add you, no issue. There was a, if you look at here, there will be a like in somewhere in here 22710.5. There was an entry we took on here yesterday, right? Okay, so sell reason. If you look at here, you will see a lot of gap, a lot of gap. So the lower time frame gap I use personally for entry confirmation, but the higher time frame we use gap sometimes, not every time. But every gap is not important because in the real market, you cannot say which gap is gonna work, but there are some probability to identify. Okay, so I prefer a gap which wick size is almost identical, like this and this. So if these are the two scenario here and here,
two which identical each is more important.
For me is more important means I will give the little bit priority. Like if you look at this as a setup, okay, like this is, let's say this is the continuation way of the market falling. So you have one gap. This is also a gap, right? This is also a gap. So out of these three gap, one gap, two gap, three gap, I will go for this one. You understand the point of view now? I'll go for this one because of the wick size is an identical way. Okay. So the same way, if you look at here, if you want, like this candle is not closed yet. This candle is not closed yet. So if you look at here, and if you ask me, like this is a gap, and let's say this candle is closed also. Okay. So I will go for this one as a marking area. Okay. Now, so for clear.
Yes, because the wicks are
almost identical, right? And remaining one thing I can say, which is A level, V level do not need to explain in that much because it's a very straight cut A level and V level. Okay, so remain. Now, based on this, how to identify a what it is called direction? Okay, direction. So look at here. This market is massive. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Look at here. I will come back to also that part. Okay. So look, we are in a very much bullish market, right? Very much bullish market. So we have fee level. We have feel. Fresh and unfresh level.
Yes.
Okay.
Fresh and unfresh level.
Okay, I will tell you. So look, now V level, which is very much good to go. Like you do not need to study rocket science to understand it, right? So V level. Now, out of all of these three candle, we also have, as it is a weekly candle, we also have a gap. So this gap and that gap. Now, my question to you, out of this all of three level, these two are very valid because this is the V level. The confusion will start at when you identify the gap level. Which gap I'm going to identify? So out of these two scenario, if the scenario you have here, which one you are going to identify?
The first one, the wicks are
almost identical, right? Okay, got it. Okay. So now, look, what is our direction here?
It's bullish.
Bullish. So much bullish, right?
Yes.
So now, look, what we do now, we need to identify a fresh level and unfresh level. Fresh means like this one. You see that candle? I've created a V level. Never come back, never touch that level, means it remain fresh. In
Yes.
another sense, in a 18 plus, you was by using word, you can say it's a virginity.
Okay.
Okay, so it's virgin means never touched on here, never touched on
Yes.
here. Once it touched, once it's touched, so then you can say, okay, it's not remain a fresh anymore. Fresh,
Yes.
okay, it not remain a fresh anymore. So means it become unfresh. Another way to identify the fresh and unfresh is, let's say there is no other candle but this. Okay, we have our V level. Okay, we have our V level. Now this is, sorry, A level. So this is an A level, which is like also at the same time we have a V level. Okay,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
so this A level is fresh, this V level is not fresh,
Fresh.
because this candle is already touched. Okay, touched it. So nasty word. Okay, so now what we see next, it become like, if you know, it goes
Every level.
it goes up again, it goes up again. That means this Jesus Christ. This A level got, you know, break again. That means it remained fresh, no touch, but remain fresh. Okay, if in case it comes here and goes up and then break out again with a body, it, we will say it become fresh again. So normally we were going to use like 2 times. This is not that much important. In later we will know why. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let us move on to where we were on here. So we says, okay, we have our this particular gap level as a marked one, as a resistance area, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
So what we say is, we need it is a fresh. Okay, it is a fresh. So to understand the direction, we apply one rules, which is TF will, okay. So we apply what rules? TF will reject TF fresh level. Okay, so now you know what is fresh, what is unfresh, right?
What is TF?
Time frame.
Okay. Okay.
So just replace the time frame with any time, simple as it is. So if you are wanting, if you are looking for a daily or weekly storyline, you just change the time frame based on whatever time frame you're looking now. So what time frame you're looking now?
Weekly shift or daily?
Just for now, what time frame we are in?
Weekly.
Okay, so what we are going to do, we are just going to we are going to change it as a like this. Okay, the rules is simple. It's like memorizing an essay for school life. Okay, simple as it is. Weekly will reject weekly fresh level. Okay, so
Time frame will reject time frame fresh level.
what it did?
That means the time frame will reject.
Huh.
Means tapping the fresh. One more.
Let me explain.
Uh,
Time frame means any time frame.
okay.
So we are watching weekly. So we are just replacing time frame with the weekly.
Okay.
Okay. So what we have here, time frame as weekly. So we will say weekly. That means weekly candle will reject weekly candle fresh level.
Okay.
So this one is fresh, and we says what the rejection happen on here,
Happened, yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
So let us go. Let us go here. So we see this level. One level is here, and
Yes.
another level is here. And this is our this is our weekly market, and we see a rejection on here. A rejection. That's the same rejection we see on here. Okay, we see on
Yes.
here. Now what we are going to do, we are going to mark that rejection candle with a vertical line.
Okay.
Now you mark that candle and what time frame? weekly, right?
Weekly.
So
Okay.
when you are marking that candle, the candle mark will automatically goes to the Monday.
Okay. Yes.
You understand it?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay. So now, once you mark your weekly candle, which is you marked here,
Yes.
now once you identified the rejection, you do one thing extra, which is go to one time frame lower.
Shift the daily.
Shift to daily. Okay? Shift to daily. So now, as it is a weekly, this would be a very too many movement, isn't it?
Yes. 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 Yes.
And this particular one is the last one, which is this particular area. So we may see a lot of movement here also, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we may find out this particular candle was the last one that touched the area.
Yes. Rejected area.
And what we did, we just mark that area of the candle on daily, which one actually get rejected. Okay.
Yes.
So the next job is, once you identified that and you have a vertical line, after the vertical line, market may create a lot of noise. So we call that area as an internal movement.
Internal movement.
Anything before that vertical line, we call it external movement.
External movement. Okay.
Now, to identify your direction remain, as we are seeing our direction was bullish. So to identify the weekly is still remain bullish or not,
Yes.
you need to see the recent A level where it is. Once you find out your A level got broke out with a body, then we started to calling our direction is still remain bullish.
Bullish. Okay.
Okay, so let us go to the example on here. So you marked it, you
Mark
go to
the
daily,
first level.
right? So if you look at here, what I say is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it was marked automatically on Monday, but the rejection
Yes.
happened on the Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And what we are going to look for? We are going to look for anything before the vertical line and where is a recent A level. So this is our recent A level.
Yes.
Once that
Yes.
A level got broken,
The weekly is still bullish.
once it got broken with the body, that's the confirmation that you started to looking for buy.
Bullish.
Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
look what happened on here. Okay. So now, what I say is everything remains same, but we started to using as a fancy word. The same structure is here, the N shape. Okay. That's your N shape. So this is your last N shape. Okay.
Yes.
It started to breaking. We started to calling it as a what?
S is uptrend.
Uptrend. The same remain like character changes and every single formula is here with the same N shape concept.
Yes.
So changes, it is started to moving as a low.
Okay.
Okay. Now the second part is how I personally use the direction. Okay.